My name is Travis. I live in Denver, Colorado, and I believe that individuals should have the right to try and heal themselves by utilizing psilocybin mushrooms without fear of criminal prosecution or civil penalties. In my opinion, the laws surrounding psilocybin mushrooms are cruel, unjust, and do not support the notion of a free land. I tell you this firsthand because I'm a felon for merely attempting to grow psilocybin mushrooms. By the time I was 21, I'd already had a handful of mystical and enriching experiences with the mushrooms. While my peers were just beginning a lifelong relationship with alcohol, I sought out cannabis and psilocybin mushrooms. I never knew when and where the magic mushrooms would appear in my life, so once I moved out of my parents' house, I took matters into my own hands and legally purchased spores over the internet to start a small farm about the size of a 20-gallon aquarium. It took a few times to get them going, but once they took root, I couldn't be more excited. That excitement proved to be short-lived. The police had received some false information about me and served a warrant on my house. They found my small farm, they took my cultures, and they gave them to a forensic chemist. 3 weeks later, that chemist produced the mushrooms that I was trying to grow. And once they had produced mushrooms, they formally charged me with manufacture of a controlled substance, which is the same charge that you would give someone if they were making meth. They reported to the press that my small farm was capable of producing $10,000 a month, and the newspaper headlines and the local TV and radio reported that a magic mushroom factory had been found. The district attorney was directly quoted as saying that the mushrooms were not therapeutic, that they were clearly for criminal use, and that they were poison that could kill. Once these formal charges were made, I was taken into custody, humiliated and scared that my life would be forever altered for the worse. At my preliminary hearing, we argued that they did not have enough evidence to prove my intent. The judge threw out the charge only to be reinstated by the district attorney after they cited that the judge had made an error of law. That was 18 years ago, and today I still have to deal with the stigma of being found guilty of manufacturing a controlled substance. We now know that psilocybin mushrooms will probably change the face of mental health treatment. We now know that psilocybin mushrooms have extremely low toxicity. We've always known that mushrooms are natural and not manufactured. Every time I have to apply to rent, I have to worry that I will be judged. Every time I apply for a job, I have to worry that I'll be judged. If you Google my name, the words of the district attorney are still there. Indelible, and renew that stigma at any time. It doesn't have to be this way. The war on drugs doesn't work, and it is not the will of the people. Fortunately, I have found the means to save others from the trauma of being arrested, strip searched, and taken to jail, put into general population, where extremely violent offenders are awaiting trial, where diseases like MRSA and Hepatitis C are rampant. I'm working with a ballot initiative to decriminalize psilocybin mushrooms right here in Denver County so that traumatized people like rape victims and veterans and even our first responders like police and EMTs can successfully treat their PTSD. So that people with treatment-resistant depression and anxiety can get back to life on their terms. Every day I meet more and more people that are not only curious, but willing to expose themselves to a felony just to heal themselves. We owe it to our vets to change these laws. We owe it to those struggling with depression and anxiety to change those laws. We owe it to ourselves to change those laws and be leaders in reform and application. Fear and misunderstanding are keeping us ignorant and compliant to unjust laws. Love and compassion will shape a future worth living.